Hello and welcome to Postmortem for Open Fishing Excel. I don't actually know if I'm recording. I am. Nice. So, we're back on this beach where these are all recorded because I keep forgetting to save somewhere else. So, essentially, this episode is about... What is it about again? I honestly forgot. Oh yeah, it's about the gear inventory. So, this is a really cool feature. This basically like added a lot of progression into the game. And we'll be talking about that more in the next episode, so stay tuned, like and subscribe and stuff. I remember to say it this time, the little YouTuber. But yeah, so essentially you can, here's the compass in the corner there. You can turn it off and on and stuff. And same with the looking glass, but you don't really notice anything there. And you can change rods, which was a big deal. I'm not sure if that was in the update where I added the gear inventory or if I like waited an update for that. I think I might have. But we're talking about that next time. About why and how and like game design stuff around it, why and how I added the rods and stuff like that. But right now we are focusing on just the general inventory systems. So basically, let me get into the code there of how this works. And essentially, so a big thing with this one was each part is like pretty much a separate script. Like so you can see here in the gear item, so it has all of the stats. Basically, none of them overlap apart from the price and the type, and some other stuff actually. But alright, some stuff overlaps, but most of it is it is like completely separate. It has like their own section and stuff, and the rods, and the looking glass. Like, what do those have in common apart from that they're both items? So essentially, what I would do now in my game development journey. I would have made this an interface. So basically I've gone like equipable, and this would be like a little interface that would say this script for sure, pinky promise, has this function right here that has this one. And since it does have that one, you can just say, oh yeah, I don't need a gear item. Or like, I would also rename these scripts like boot item, compass item, rod item, and looking glass item, something like that. And I would probably just copy paste this, essentially. I'm not sure if that's like the way to do that, but it's how I do it at the moment. Maybe there's a better way too. I guess inheritance would probably would be what you would use there. But my reason for not using that is I don't understand it, and therefore I don't want to mess myself up by using something that I don't understand. It kind of comes back to what I talked about in earlier episodes of like caveman coding. Like, if I don't get it, I don't do it, because otherwise I'm going to get confused, and you know, so I'll have to learn about that someday probably. But this works, and that's what matters, essentially. But so yeah, I just copy paste this into each of these scripts, which would be like the rod item, the boot item, yada yada yada. And then I'd have these in like the separate item scripts. And this would be like a unified thing, which you could just call. So you wouldn't say, oh, I need a gear item, I need an equipable item, or like an equipable. And then you would do that in this gear controller here. And basically you would, I don't actually know how I called this stuff. Yes, here. So you would just say, wait, that's a different one as well. I don't know. I do something somewhere. But my point being, this should be an interface. I'm not that great at explaining code stuff. I'm good at explaining like the general how to make a game thing and practicing with code stuff by doing these videos. But I recommend you watch an actual tutorial on that, because I'm not like a tutorial guy. Might try at some point, but I still need to practice a lot of tutorials. So yeah, but yeah, this should be an interface, and that would work way better here. It would be a perfect use case for something like that, in my opinion. And then you get into here. So basically, this guy calls this guy, calls this guy. And essentially, you could probably change gear item to be to just be part of this, mayhaps. But I'm not sure. I haven't looked into like how this code works exactly 100%. So, oh no, this is fine actually. This is a simple thing. Yeah, never mind. This is good. But my point was, you can pull up thinking, processing. So what was I talking about? I have notes. Check my notes. Oh yeah. So essentially, my point being, actually gets back into the caveman coding thing. This works perfectly fine. it's just not the neatest way of doing it. Which, while I like, if I had been programming this and was like, this doesn't seem like the right way to do this. Guess I'm gonna do the research into how C# works for like 2 hours, or more, probably way more if I had to learn how interfaces work. So, and then I might have misused the interfaces and completely messed up this code and it'd be way messier than it is now. So therefore, I'm actually quite happy that I did it this way. Like, even if this isn't the wrong way to code this, it still works, and it works fine. So that was basically my point here. You should caveman code. You should like do it as simply as possible, essentially. Yeah. Yes, this does get comfortable here. Okay, I get it now. This is a little bit janky in some other way, but I haven't quite figured out in what way yet. Yeah. I don't actually know how this works. Well, I mean, I knew how this worked, and I think I know how it works, but I'm bad at reading code while talking. So, all the information I said was correct. That's going to be how I end the video. I'm always right. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you learned how interfaces worked a little better and like when you would use them. I heard someone explain it once as you should use interfaces when something when something does something. That's a very confusing way to say it. So say another good use of interfaces is an exploding barrel or like an exploding object. So you might want to have exploding barrels and exploding grenades, maybe. This would be a little bit weird in my opinion, because this seems like a nice way to do it, but I don't actually think it's a very nice way of doing it, because it can get a little messy if you want to change how grenades work from how exploding barrels work. Yeah. This is actually a confusing example. Never mind. I'm gonna cancel this whole situation, and I'm gonna cancel this video as well because it's done. I've told you all the stuff I know about this. So check out my next video to learn more about how the rods implementation went and stuff like that. And have a nice day. Goodbye.